So before we get out of here, let's do this because this is my bag. I love conversations like this. This is my shit. So Spotify drops this list, not list. It's like on their section for each genre for rap and R&B, which is the space that we operate. And they did the classic albums in what they are calling the streaming era, which is 2015 to now. So looking at 2015 to now, they listed 30 classic albums between rap and R&B. So
to preface, do you agree with that timeline?
I think so, yeah, because Apple Music started 2015. So like Spotify was around since 2009.
Yeah, I guess.
But like I look at it as when did the others join, and I think Apple I know was 2015.
Yeah,
I believe Tidal was 2016.
Whatever that.
Tidal was like Jay's thing,
right?
Yeah.
But
and
still,
they had some good ass sound quality.
right.
I'm not gonna
Either
lie.
way.
Yeah, for sure. But
Either way, it shows when a bunch of companies are doing it. It shows that this is it. This is where the money is. Follow the money.
It's fair, I guess.
Spotify is obviously the OG. They're the first. They're the.
I guess I'm just considering that gray area from like 2013 to 2015 where SoundCloud was really big.
Yeah.
But I guess you wouldn't
That's
consider
true.
that mainstream streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just happy my boy Uzi on that list, man. Lil Uzi versus the World. What an album, bro.
Was it on there? Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
It
Lil
was.
Uzi versus the World.
So
Man, I'm so happy my boy is finally getting credit, bro. This guy no one talks about my boy.
So we got albums like. In no order. I'm reading it off the graphic. I swear I'm reading it off the graphic.
I don't think
order.
theirs were in order either.
To Pimp a Butterfly, The Internet. What was their album called? Ego, I believe.
Ego Death.
Yeah, Ego Death. Yep. Dirty Sprite 2, Trap Soul, Malibu, Anderson .Paak. This guy. Side note before I continue. This guy, Chris.
Here we go. You were arguing. How long, bro?
It was like 20 minutes.
Work, man.
It was like 20 minutes, bro. I did not shut up about this because I'm.
This guy kept going.
It's a good album.
But to be fair, I didn't even keep bringing it up. You just would look at me, and then then you would say something, and then it would continue. Like, I'm not gonna act like I didn't instigate it, but I damn sure didn't prolong it. That was on him.
Bro,
but either way,
I can't get over that. I don't like Anderson .Paak.
We're chilling at work. No, it's not about liking Anderson .Paak or not, Chris. It's about this is how you know who Anderson .Paak is. Think of all the ways to know Anderson .Paak. This guy Adi knows Anderson .Paak and only knows him as the guy in the 2016 XXL freshman cipher. That to me is crazy.
Which isn't even close to what he actually is in album
He's
mode.
literally not. He's not a rapper.
I never gave it a care to listen to him anymore.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
So then
again, I don't care whether you like him or not.
But Anderson .Paak is objectively a good artist.
My
mom is 67 years old and loves Anderson .Paak.
It's not even
that just goes to show.
It's not even about whether he's good or bad. It's about that's where you know him from. Like, you don't know him as the guy with Bruno Mars. You don't know him as an R&B artist. You know him as a guy who had a XXL freshman cipher. He was never supposed to be there.
He's not even a rapper.
In Adi's defense, XXL ciphers are where you're supposed to prove yourself so people are prepared to
as a rapper.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
But you know,
but
that's kind of since
that brings me to that point.
That was label shit for
why
for
are
promo.
R&B artists even going on there? We saw YK Osiris.
I don't think that he should have been out there in the first place. And to be fair, 2015 is kind of where it shifted because 2015 was, or was that 2016? That was Yachty, Uzi, Kodak.
Denzel Curry.
Yeah. 2016
is that 2016?
Class, yeah.
And
so Anderson .Paak was on that one. That's where I feel like the freshman cipher really shifted from what it once was to
what it is.
I mean, yeah, Kodak got on there and was like, "Who the fuck picked this little sorry ass beat?" It's like, okay, well, this isn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I get it. Look, if you just don't know about him, that's fine. Objectively, it is good music, and one day we'll get you around
Shout
to
out Malibu.
at least showing you some of his shit. You know, he's one of my favorite artists. Absolutely.
No, he is good.
I just never gave it a care. I don't know.
Can we stir the pot a little bit more?
I will say, hold on. Let me finish reading something. Just so everybody that doesn't know knows. So again, To Pimp a Butterfly, Ego, Death by the Internet, Dirty Sprite 2, Future, Trap Soul, Bryson Tiller, Malibu, Anderson .Paak, Lil Uzi vs. The World,
Oh, yeah.
Lemonade, Solange, Seat at the Table, Migos Culture One, Kendrick Damn, SZA Control, Flower Boy, Tyler the Creator, 17X, Fraudian, I believe is how you say it.
Daniel Caesar.
Yeah, the Daniel Caesar album. Her, Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle, Die Lit, Playboy, Cardi, Saba, Care For Me, Astro World, Travis Scott, Igor, Bandana, Freddie Gibbs, and Tyler the Creator, and Madlib, sorry, Igor's Tyler the Creator, Summer Walker's Over It, Roddy Ricch, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, Jasmine Sullivan, Hotels, Jay-Z 444, Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost, Cleo Soul Mother, and Beyonce Renaissance. So
it's not a terrible list.
It's not a terrible list. But
it's also not great.
I did do the due diligence.
Roddy Ricch only on there because the Bucks.
I mean, yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
not
I
mad
agree
at
that-
him being on
And,
there.
and Start With Me.
But it's a good album.
That was. I
Overplayed
know
as
there's a
hell.
lot of disagreements within this circle about some of those albums, but yeah, that's one I don't quite understand being on there.
That is crazy.
I
man.
never really heard
For a
anything out of the
classic,
box.
I wouldn't say a
or if I
classic,
did, it wasn't memorable.
Can me and you talk about the artist that we don't think should be on there, but he's on there 3 times?
Tyler?
You're gonna gas me up.
I'm gonna gas you up. Tyler the Creator. None of that shit should be on there.
One of the greatest artists of this generation. But that's
Get the
okay.
fuck out of here.
Easily.
Dude, he's nothing crazy. to me.
He is.
doesn't
I'm
wow
sorry.
me.
His music is garbage.
He is a fantastic artist.
He's
He has
incredible.
proven himself time and time again. Musicianship. He's one of the greatest performers.
Igor's the
all
worst
time.
album I've ever heard in my life.
That's
That's crazy.
worse than this Yeet album.
Yes.
That's insane.
Same
but
par.
okay.
Hey, bro, Tyler the Creator's. He's not.
I'm
ass.
sorry.
He's not ass at all.
No,
I
he's
think
ass.
I think honestly, I love some of his songs.
No,
Like,
he's ass.
but like, his albums are not that great to me.
His songs are not great.
I just never go back to his albums.
I think
Look,
you
I'll
can
go
argue.
easy. It's different strokes, and he's one of my favorite artists
yeah, it's
of all time.
It's different. I don't know. It's
But-
just like I can't.
I respect the opinion. Look, even like how long was I a Tyler fan before you even fucked with anything he did? Like years. You know what I mean?
I miss Yonkers Tyler. That's what I miss.
Yeah, that's when I jumped on the bandwagon and I followed him ever since. And I'm a fan of pretty much everything that he does outside of a couple of things. And no, it's not all perfect. And the thing is that with him, he is the sole proprietor of the music. He doesn't have people around him telling him what to do. He makes everything himself. So at the end of the day, when you don't have the shit, to bounce off of other people, yeah, sometimes you get a little too caught up in what you think is great, and maybe it doesn't turn out the best. But overall, craftsmanship, all right, you want to say he's not, and I'll give you that. He's not the greatest rapper of all time. And I know that. That's perfectly fine. But as far as the craftsmanship of his actual albums as a whole, he's concise.
Artistry, yeah.
He's concise. He's absolutely. It's cohesive. It's to a point. It's a topic, and he accomplishes that topic time and time again. That's where I'll give him on that. I do understand if you don't like his rapping. I get if you don't like him. I understand, but I'll always ride for him. He is one of my favorite artists ever of all time, and specifically on the performance aspect, he fucking blows so many people out of the water. His set design, the way he performs, his energy, how well he actually performs on stage. He's not just going up there and repeating words. He's like he turns it into a show.
No,
It's a full performance.
Performance I'll give you, because I'll be honest with you, you're not gonna believe me, but that was my first concert that I went to, was a Tyler show.
Which
But
album?
that's only because it came with ASAP. That was the ASAP
It was a
tour.
while ago, man.
Was that
It was when they started being like really close friends, and then they went on tour in 2015. As soon as we got out of high school.
Oh yeah, and that's where, which even Tyler alludes to, that was the era of his worst album, Cherry Bomb.
And that's the thing. I didn't even go for Tyler. I went for ASAP.
Right.
So I think it was
I
him,
still think Tyler's good.
ASAP, Danny Brown, and
Vince Staples. I think.
And Vince Staples.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Vince
I didn't go, but I know a bunch of people that went.
Vince, they fucked Vince so bad. They brought
He
that
always
dude
gets
out when there was like 20 people there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what he was. He opened for Tyler.
Shout out Vince, by the way. He dropped his Netflix show. I haven't watched it yet.
I know.
but
I
I'm gonna
gotta
watch
wanna
it
check
this
that out.
weekend.
I love
Vince
I love
Staples
Vince
is dope
Staples.
as
Vince
fuck.
Staples is cold.
And I will take that album, his very first album, over any Tyler album.
And again,
in my opinion.
which is fit. And look, I'm not going to argue your opinion on that because I'm going to be extremely biased about Tyler. So that's why I don't even try and argue it at the end of the day because I have my opinion.
We all
about
got
it.
our opinions.
But I mean, and I'm not saying this affects the music, but also if it weren't for Tyler and Mac Miller, Vince Staples would not even be a rapper at all.
Oh yeah,
And
that's right.
he's said that on numerous publications and shit. But that doesn't matter.
That is true.
It's the music at the end
But
of
it's
the day.
different music,
That's
so.
just a tidbit.
So where I'm at with Tyler is I think Fireboy and Igor absolutely have to be there. I think they are some of the best albums of the last decade. Where you get me, and I'm not mad at it all the way. Call Me If You Get Lost. I think that's a borderline classic. I reside in the fact that it's not a classic, but I think it's one of those on the fence. It's the Forever Stories. It's the Mr. Morales. It's the albums that are just flirting with the idea of classics. Some people call it a classic. Some people don't. I don't know if it's quite reached there. That's how I feel about Call Me If You Get Lost. But like, regardless of one album that I think just shouldn't be there, and I like this artist a lot. I just think has better albums. Is Saba Care For Me? Like, I'm sorry, that album is cool.
That's one of his best albums.
It's one of his best albums, but yeah, it's not his best. And
See, I actually didn't hate that on there. I like that on there.
I
don't
like
mind
that
it.
they went for something underground. I just feel like there was a lot better options, including his last.
To be fair,
His last album, Few Good Things, I think is better.
Few good things.
see,
is better.
I like Care For Me more, but I mean, just if we're talking that vein, even though they're different artists, but they come from the same cloth of Chicago, Free Money, and all that shit. I'm surprised that made it over like Coloring Book.
I mean,
That's the biggest one to me. Coloring Book was the one I had on my list. How the fuck that washes so many albums.
That's also another album I wasn't big on.
So many albums.
That's a very specific.
In terms of the moment,
album.
the time it was.
I get if you don't love it, but objectively, it's
listen, I'm probably the least biggest Chance fan of all of us, but
No, you're not.
another album actually
Fair enough.
surprised is not on there is Because the Internet.
well, that's 2013.
that was before. That's why.
Was it before?
2013.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
2013.
2013.
So I got
I thought it was
some. Let me
2015.
just name a few just so that we
What about
have some
Redbone?
context.
That
Redbone,
that was
Awaken My
that
Love,
was
but
after
that's
Awaken
R&B,
My Love.
and I feel like that wasn't good enough R&B.
Solange was in. I take that over the
The
Solange
thi-
album.
I like that album a lot. Like, I mean, that's a very big return, even to this day, that I return to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I could see it wasn't all strong all the way through. It was like Redbone was really strong, and a couple of other songs. The intro to that album is one of my favorite intros of all
Oh
time.
yeah, that intro is fire.
Me and Your Mama.
Yeah.
I love that song, but like,
Yo, wow.
I could see how. I can see how it
Crazy.
doesn't check all the boxes in that sense.
So okay, so let me name some other albums I wrote down. So, Coloring Book, Life of Pablo,
Oh,
Blank
yeah.
Face, Off Season, R&B route, but Silk Sonic, Donda, any of the King's Diseases, any of the Griselda releases. So we're talking.
that's a
Benny
hot
and
take because there's
Benny
so
and all
many
that.
of them.
I know. I'm just throwing out ideas, and you guys tell me the ones that you're like, wow, I can't believe that's not on there.
Well, you did say Love for
one-
Pablo, so
One I do want to mention that I believe was absolutely on there, or should be on there, is Eve by Rhapsody. I think that's one of the best songs of the last decade. Victory Lap, I'm glad is on there, but I
too.
think this is just as. I think it actually, in hindsight, I think it's a little less, but it's on the same level for sure. Daytona, I think Daytona.
Ooh, Daytona is actually a really valid point because
that could have been a good one.
there's
too.
so many people who like swear by that being Pusha T's best album.
I think it is.
It's a
What would you
I-
say is better? It's Almost Dry. The last album.
maybe or
I think
mean
I don't hate that take. I think
love
Daytona's
It's Almost
better.
Dry. I think
not
that's a
King.
great
What
album.
was what,
I
was,
think it is,
what was
too.
before King Push? My Name Is My Name.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be my next contender. I'm not saying that it's not. Yeah, but like that's actually a good point. Is that I feel like that could have possibly been on there. What's the rating system here? What are they basing it off of? Is it just opinion or numbers?
Yeah,
or?
it's their conglomerate of people making decisions. It's how Rolling Stone, it's how all these big publications do.
I didn't know if they had a system that they were.
Think about it though. No Matt classics, so no swimming, no Divine Feminine, none of that.
I'm mad about it.
Also to mention, I personally think they got the wrong Lil Uzi album.
They do.
I think Love Is Rage 2 should be the one.
That's what I think.
Personally.
Now I'll say this as somebody who my favorite Uzi album is Love Is Rage 1. Out of the general Uzi sphere and how I hear people talk about him, it seems to be the more loved album is Lil Uzi Vert versus the World. That's the one I hear about the most from other people.
I'm not mad about that because that does have the bangers. It has Money Longer. It has.
There's 2 albums I'm gonna say straight up.
You can go all day.
For Your Eyes Only.
That's fair.
Nah.
That wasn't my favorite Cole album. I take KOD over
like
that
that
album, but that's my own opinion.
And
I do too.
More Life.
Yeah, which that's a hot take for Platte. I know he doesn't.
For
like
him,
More Life like that.
I'm not gonna argue with him.
I personally
with me and you,
do I put More Life on there?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Wait, was Nothing That Was the Same on there?
No, that's
No, it's
2013.
Yeah, it's before.
20,
This is
2012.
2015 and up.
No, 2013.
2013.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is
This is 2015.
2015 and
2015
and
This
up.
is like streaming. Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, because if we were
So
talking
no,
that
also
5
no
years,
Rodeo, no Birds.
Which
No.
They have
Rodeo.
Astro, but Rodeo, I think.
No Rodeo.
Yeah, that's where I'm.
crazy.
See, I'm
No
also in the
Rodeo's
minority
insane.
there, where I like Birds is my favorite Travis album, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know I'm in the minority in every Travis fan
Views?
group.
As far as
Was
if you want to
Beauty
go
Behind
Drake
the Madness
drops,
on there?
If I'm going, dude,
that's before.
all right. But like in my opinion, I think More Life is a better album than Views.
Oh, I
but-
disagree.
Oh, I can't say that. It's a good album. I love it.
I
said there's-
also would love to cape for like
Actually, hold
Sun's
on.
Tirade,
There's more
but
filler
No,
on
let me
Views.
retract.
It's
Hold
not
on.
a classic.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
There's more filler on Views. All right, Views in the middle of Views. There's like a 6-song run that's like incredible. It's from like. It's like after
from like track 2 or 3.
No,
Like,
it's from like
from 9 to
or
Redemption.
it's like in the middle. It's like the
it's after Faithful. I know that.
I gotta see. Hold up, because
It's
me
after
and
Faithful.
my brother talk about this.
I hate that song.
Yeah,
so
I don't like
much.
that song. But no, like 9 was good. You With Me is good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
and
Feel No
I
Ways.
love
That's
those.
the beginning.
The first, but like, hear
That's
me
the
out
beginning.
here.
Minus
Well,
Keep
from-
the Family Close as the intro or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even like Keep the Family Close.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I
That's one of
remember,
Drake's
Platte,
worst
I
intros.
remember us listening to that and us hearing that when Chrysler made that one car that looked
was
just like the Bentley, and we just looked at each other like, "What the fuck is?" This?
Also, no Young Thug on this. No Barter 6. No So Much
So
Fun.
much fun. Which that would have
All
been
right.
my pick.
So listen to this run in a row. That all right, track 10 to 16, Still Here, one of Drake's top 5 Drake songs for
yeah,
me, ever.
I agree.
Still Here, Controlla, One Dance, Grammys with Future, Child's Play, Pop Style, and Too Good with Rihanna.
Yeah, that's
Right in a
crazy.
row.
That's crazy.
Those are all
Well, Grammys isn't really played much anymore.
yeah, which is fine.
Which
But when you
sucks.
say, but as a 6-song run in the middle
Oh,
of an
fuck
album,
yeah.
that's fucking
Dope as
super
shit.
strong.
That's
but
a
there's
really
so
good
much,
album.
between the Faithfuls and With You wasn't great. And
Redemption was so good.
Fire and Desire was
Redemption.
kind of snoozy. Like
Western Road Flows.
Western Road Flow was
I
good.
take.
I love Controller, man. Even though it's sort of
Control is fire.
It was
I
just
lo-
a fire
I,
album.
I like Views in general, but I personally like More Life more. But
Yeah.
that's my own.
More Life. I think More Life's better too.
That's-
More Life is
But
a
the
good-
fact Drake has 0. Like he doesn't have
Free
a single
Smoke?
one.
That's
Free
actually
Smoke
not
was
even
like-
not even What a Time to Be Alive, which technically would qualify for this era.
Or if you're reading this, is too late.
Or if you're reading this, none of those have qualified.
He wasn't even on there once.
No,
That's insane.
That's actually
Zulu
pretty crazy.
classic.
that
That's
is crazy.
insane.
That is.
I
That's very
I
crazy.
really would like JID's Forever Story to be on there. I think that's a classic in my opinion.
At least put one.
Going the R&B route, I think what's going to age very well is Steve Lacy's Gemini Rights. I think that's going to go down. You have
Yeah,
an all-time banger
it-
in Bad Habit,
It
an
will,
all-time
but
banger
it's almost
and a great
that
album.
that album also.
SZA,
now,
SOS,
For one,
Yeah.
there's one thing to point
no
out about
Weekend,
this.
no Dawn, FM, or
That's-
After Hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No Weekend.
There is one thing to point out to this. For one, I don't really. Steve Lacy is almost. He's almost borderline. It's not even R&B. It's more like indie alternative in a sense. But Now, when this album is listed, it's just all-time classics, right?
Yeah, they're not ranking. They're not ranking them. They're just these are the albums that they say these are the only classic albums in this era.
But what's interesting is that there's not one single album outside of rap or R&B, which is like. Well, And I'm not saying that's I think that just
they
sounds,
might be rolling it out in like segments.
Maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
probably.
based on
I can't imagine that they look at it and they would say that there's no other genres.
Yeah, because
I think
when
they
you
just
think
pandered
because that's like the thing, and that's where maybe like the Steve Lacy will come in and shit because he's borderline.
Maybe that's fair.
But I guess if they have the internet on there,
but
I
can't believe
man.
I can't believe Silk Sonic's not on it. Like that to me.
That is
because that's not really.
That's definitely R&B.
But it doesn't need to fit either way. Like because
it doesn't fit. That's
also, again, I would ride for the off season being on here.
I wouldn't.
I would ride for. I would think that
Off-Season
I would take
wasn't
Donda over some of the albums on here.
Off season was good.
Hey, but they're never gonna put.
But
Kanye.
it wasn't great.
They're never gonna put Kanye on that.
Well, to be fair, he blackballed himself, but
Yeah, but like that's.
And
that's
of course,
just how it's gonna be.
I'd say Mr. Morale has an argument spot, but I think that's in the same tier as Call Me If You Get Lost, where it's like borderline classic.
I think Mr. Morale
just like Off Season,
because if you look at the whole list, Mr. Morale is.
It would be one of the weaker albums.
Well, not that, but it's just a little too new. Also,
way too new, I think.
Even though like,
but they added that one album from last year. What's it called? They had one of the albums they had on there was from like last year. Hold on.
Because Call Me If You Get Lost was 2021. Even though, again, I'm not.
Oh, Beyonce Renaissance.
Yeah, that is.
That doesn't belong on there. In my opinion.
I think that album is good, but I also think it is slightly.
But you have to also look. That fucking shook the world.
It did.
Like it really, outside of like your sphere of what you listen to,
Damn.
it fucking shook the world with people. Like
Call
that
Me-
Renaissance, and now she's doing a country album. That's a topic
crazy.
for another day. But
Bro, you said Call Me If You Get Lost was 2021.
yeah, I know it blows my mind too.
I remember that day when it dropped. I was literally hearing.
Yeah, I remember it too.
That
I
didn't
know.
feel like 2021.
You
I felt
were
like
what?
last year.
Yeah, because me and Josh saw him in February of 2022. That was 2 years ago.
That shit.
Because
flew.
it re-released as like a deluxe, like
Yeah.
what, like a year later?
That
or two?
was,
Yeah.
either early last year or 2022.
The one with the suitcase where he's carrying.
Yeah,
But the actual one was the one
Was
with like an ID.
the ID, and then he re-released
Yeah.
it as he did a deluxe.
Yeah.
Exactly, which as
See, that's what
Which
I'm
I
saying.
have
Even-
the deluxe vinyl somewhere around here.
yeah, I
That's
have
nice.
the deluxe vinyl too for
That's
Call Me
nice.
If You Get Lost.
I don't have the like deluxe version. It's just that cover that they use for the vinyl. I think
That's
it's the
nice.
same.
That's
Yeah,
good
no,
for
it's a very good album. It's a very solid album.
Let people like things, Amer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm being very nice
Anybody-
about Polo G and Yeet. You guys got to be nice about Tyler to me.
I don't care about either of them.
I think we would
No,
all
Tyler's still good though.
we would all kind of agree. I think some of the biggest omissions. I think Coloring Book should absolutely be on there.
I agree with
I
that.
can agree with
Absolutely.
that. I can agree with that.
I don't.
Even if
Bro,
you don't like it, I
it-
think you have to acknowledge how fucking
It's
big
been
it is. Just
we're
like
in our
Diamonds.
we're in
so good.
year number 9 since that album, and Chance is still wearing the 3 hat.
Yeah.
That's very
Which is
true.
crazy.
That's how like
That's how
that's how
iconic
much
it is.
longevity
It is
it had.
2015. right?
Yeah,
That was
2015.
2016.
2016.
Oh, it was.
That was
Yeah,
the same
no,
year
you're
as
right, yeah.
Jesus, or that was
Yeah.
the same year as Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
Which Life of Pablo, I think, absolutely is better than some.
It's
If
better
you,
than
if you
Coloring
don't
Book.
want to say it's a classic, that's fair. But I do think it's better than some of the albums you deem
Yes.
classic,
Yes.
like Saba's. Again, I think few good things.
That's an interesting. I actually didn't expect that from you. I thought
I
that you
didn't
would
either.
have said that "Care for Me" was above
I think
it.
Saba is easily the worst album on here, and I like that album.
Well,
I just think it's
Nah,
easily.
I'll still say Roddy Ricch probably did that.
I think if you want to go underground, I think you throw Eve by Rhapsody,
I'd
or
say
I, think,
Solange.
or I think you throw Brick Body Kid Still
I've seen
Daydream
that
by
release.
Open Mike Eagle. If you really want to get weird, let's really fucking get weird. Big Brick Body Kid Still
What's
Daydream
that?
by Open Mike Eagle is crap.
No, that is a great
that is
album.
a phenomenal album.
Don't even know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. Why is there no Billy Woods on here?
Yeah, bro. Why is there no? Yeah,
What's the one?
I know why there's no Earl on here, but
What's the one Billy Woods album?
fucking like In the Woods. No, I'm just fucking. with
I
you.
forgot what it's called, but anyway,
But no, I think.
Yeah.
I-
it's
I-
not the worst list I've ever
It's
seen.
not. It's not. And I think 30 is about a good number when you're including two genres. 30 divided by 2015 to now, that's 9 years. So you're saying like a classic and a half each year. That makes sense. Like I feel like there's not. Twitter will say there's 4 classics every year, but in reality there's like.
There's really like 2.
To like on a good year there's 3 or 4, and on another year there's 0.
Yeah.
And that word classic just gets thrown around.
It gets thrown around way too much.
Yeah.
In general.
So I'd like everybody in the comments to let me know what you guys think are some classics. What do you think of this list overall? Do you think it should be more? Do you think it should be less? Do you think there was some omissions? Let me know. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with this. I don't entirely hate it. I would tweak it in the fact of, again, I would put
for 9 years, it's not bad.
I would put blank face.
Overall,
I would put coloring book. I would very much. I was very surprised swimming wasn't on here.
Technically 8 years because we're not even.
Yeah, but and like as the as the resident mech stan, fucking I get if it's not. You know, like,
I think it's in that again. I think it's in that Mr. Morale. Call me if you get lost. I think it's all that
where it's like that. It's that gray area,
like really
of like
good,
almost there, but maybe not. But
it's classic to some, not to others.
All right, I guarantee it was within consideration.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's I see. I'm not upset about it not being on there either because when you look at what the list is, yeah, I mean. Platte, we've gone over a lot of lists over the years. There's been worse.
Yeah.
This is actually surprisingly not that bad.
Shout out to Spotify. I honestly think they did a very solid job.
I think it's not bad.
And I don't think you're ever gonna put out a list that everybody's gonna love.
Yep.
No.
Well,
I don't think a list.
It's all opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think a list is. Nobody's ever dropped a list where everybody's like, that's the truth. Everybody's always gonna argue something. So we'll leave it there.